Friend Sally? Well, that's what she says about me. She says that I'm, fun deficient.
I don't believe that.
That's what she says. One-on-one?
Who? Me and her?
Yeah, come on!
You want to do this?
Spoilers is live from Goshen, Indiana, and we're about to go Shaquille on your butt. This is Catwoman spoilers.
Woo-hoo! Big Diesel.
I figured you guys knew that's what I was going to do.
I didn't, but I love
That's
that.
the direction I was going to go.
Yeah.
I love basketball. We're here in Indiana recording, and Catwoman's got a surprisingly lot of basketball.
It's making love
It's
through hoops.
basically a basketball movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically Hoosiers.
Opening question. You guys are going to have to dig deep.
Okay.
But what is another show or piece of media that maybe has basketball casually in it that you kind of like? Because I think we all got something like that. I'll go first.
2-on-2.
I'll go first, and then you go. Give these two guys time to think. Me and Brett have thought about this a lot, I'm sure, because we're from Indiana. We love basketball, but I got to go with South Park.
Pappy's not apparently from Indiana.
Well, originally I'm from Indiana. Not
Why are you
anymore.
You can't do the whisper thing. It's got to be yes or no here.
Still have COVID.
Okay, so South Park, every once in a while, they'll just have a cut scene of the guys shooting hoops.
You love that.
I love it. Everyone, like, a dream of mine would be if there's a YouTube video that's cut every single instance of basketball playing on South Park into one, like, super cut. That's
You
my
can
shit.
make this.
It's a lot of episodes.
That's a
though.
lot of research.
They're like over 300, I think.
We could make
Could we get AI?
We can build it.
We can build
Excuse me, Broflovsky, is it?
Yeah?
Can we talk to you for a minute? You're the best player in your school, are you?
Yep, I love basketball. I want to play for the Denver Nuggets someday.
Yeah. Look, kid, you've got great skills and a great attitude, but you're just not physically built for the game.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just that Jews can't play basketball. All right, kids, we got to work on that shooting. Come on.
I also love it because they're so short and the way they really have to, like, toss the ball up. And I think there's also something funny with the writers of that show in sports. They have this weird kind of love-hate relationship with it that's pretty funny. But anyway, I've been talking a lot. This is your host from Goshen. We're in my house right now, in my kitchen. We're going to go left around the table. Ooh. Brett with his Florida State Seminoles t-shirt on.
Green Bay Sox.
Listen, they're playing tonight.
Yeah.
You don't have to say "Go Noles" at the end of this podcast, though. Okay, we'll just.
I won't.
But you can.
You can say it now.
I don't want to be shamed. Go Knowles.
There you go.
All right. So, who are you? Where are you from?
My name is Brett. I'm originally from Elkhart, Indiana, which is very close to where we're at.
Yep.
And I live in Fort Wayne. God, so many things. Immediately I think of how bad basketball is done on sitcoms. The court's about 40% the size it should be. But I'll just go with the simple one. I'm probably going to take one from Corey, I guess. But, I mean, I always think of Three Ninjas. We'll play you 2-on-2.
Dude, you stole that from him completely.
Nah.
I said it first.
It was definitely a Brett thing. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I could
You're just
piggyback and
happy
do
it came up.
basketball.
Hell
I could
yeah.
do basketball. I mean, we've actually played basketball. You, me, my brother Brian, best friend Drew,
Psych outs.
First to 10.
Nick
I'll spot you
Masters.
9.
But yeah, so I don't know. Basketball is big here. But I'll just go Three Ninjas because I think Corey could think of something good.
Hi, this is Corey from Simi Valley, California. Although I am recording from Goshen.
Hell yeah, he is.
Ooh, check it out. I'm here with the boys. I'm sitting next to Brett, right next to me. My arm is on his shoulder right now. He's giving me a look like, take it off. I'm sorry.
Never.
Wait a second. When we FaceTime yesterday, I just got to mention this. Corey immediately, upon seeing me on the screen, just put his teeth and gums right in the camera like some sort of ape.
Yeah, what was that about?
Why did you do that?
It's better than putting your camera in my ear canal, like in this movie.
Catwoman, yeah.
Okay, slight
Catwoman
improvement.
gets FaceTimed by Sharon Stone and then immediately puts the camera to her ear, even though it's a FaceTime. And this FaceTime didn't exist in 2004, by the way. Not in that fashion. There was like a sophisticated VoIP you could do, and they used that in like newsrooms and stuff. But let's talk about basketball movies that are vaguely connected. Josh, who is 4 feet in front of me, and Pappy, who is about the same.
I'm reaching out. We can't reach.
Okay.
Short arms.
The Uncut Gems is a really great movie that features basketball.
Ugh.
And it's not about basketball, but basketball is like a heavy backdrop within that movie.
Perfect answer, yeah.
That's a great one. But also, because, we got to do two. Brett, you set the stage long ago on the Carrie episode of Spoilers. Basketball Diaries is a movie about drug addiction.
Seen it.
That features basketball. This is when Leonardo DiCaprio was a young man. He was like
Mark Wahlberg.
He was like 22 or something, so his girlfriend was probably like 11 at the time, if you think about it.
dang.
11.
I'm just kidding.
Negative 11.
I know.
I need you to give me like $5, like $20, something like that, because I'm in some trouble. Mom, can you give me some money, please? Stop fucking around. I can't. Mom, give me some fucking money, please. What are you doing? I'm your son. I don't have any. Mom, don't fuck around like this. Give me some money. Mom! Come on! Let me in the fucking door! I'll do anything. I'll be a good boy. I'll be a good boy, Mom, if you let me in. Off me! Get out! You fucker! You're not actually, my nights are kind of busy right now.
Yeah. Homework and all, huh?
Yeah.
But that's a really good movie about heroin addiction.
Had the girls from Sweet Valley High. Brittany Daniel and her sister.
That's right.
They did meth together or whatever they did.
You hate to see it.
Yeah.
Pappy, recording from Goshen, Indiana, originally from Auburn, Indiana, living in Kalamazoo. I think we're giving a lot of details on where we live.
From Auburn.
Basketball adjacent? I don't know. The first thing that popped in my head was High School Musical, but I've never even seen it. Like, I just thought of know that there's like a basketball adjacent storyline. Like,
Pappy needs to either talk louder or turn his
how's this
line up. You can just turn up maybe a little bit.
Maybe that's better.
You're just low. Just trying to help you out.
Hello. But I would say Fresh Prince was the second thing that came to my mind.
I almost said Fresh Prince.
Yeah, especially if like in the early seasons, there's a lot more of a basketball storyline in there, like with Will Smith playing. And doesn't Carlton become a Peacock mascot at some point? But that might be later at college. Yeah.
California Peacocks are there.
Yeah, the early Fresh Prince basketballs are pretty solid.
Yeah, he's like a ball hog, right?
I think so.
And they have to teach him how to screen and play defense.
And he wears his
Oracle play
jacket
basketball,
inside
too.
out, his like fancy prep jacket inside.
Yeah. Apparently that actor can actually play basketball. He was on like the Celebrity All-Star team in the 90s.
With 7 seconds remaining, Bel Air is down by 2 points and calls a timeout.
All right, men. Our only hope for winning this game is by shooting a three-pointer. So here's the plan. Cardwell, you inbound to Hunt. Okay, Hunt, what do you do?
Shoot for the three-pointer?
Very funny. That'll be 10 laps, Chowderhead. Now, what's the right answer?
Pass it to Will.
All right, now let's do it. 1, 2, 3, Bel Air!
We have a basketball hoop in my yard. I was thinking maybe after this pod, we could go out and shoot a few free throws. If you shot 10 free throws, how many do you think you could make?
4.
I'd say about 5.
3 if everyone's watching. I think I would be
3.
By the way, Josh is the only one here who played varsity basketball. So
Can we have a contest with this?
You're going to beat us,
afterwards?
Josh. I could shoot pretty well.
I don't even have to go. I just want to see everyone go.
Yeah, we can do
Get
that.
this podcast done soon enough.
Yeah.
I could report back.
If we can put it on Instagram Live, you're very anti-Instagram
Finally,
Live.
you can be
I
on
used to be an
Instagram.
athlete a long time ago.
All right. Well, I'm begrudgingly going to get into the Catwoman movie here. If that's okay.
One of us took notes.
Did we talk about why we're doing a podcast on Catwoman?
Oh, yeah.
You're here? Is that the reason why?
We had this idea to like watch a movie together and podcast on it together all in person. So we decided to watch maybe a lesser quality film, and we made a short list of some pretty like notoriously bad movies, and Catwoman was
one really good one. Cop and a Half. Great.
Cop and a Half was on there. But
Morbius was on there.
Yeah, so there was 2 really good movies on there, but we had to axe them off. We landed on Catwoman for some reason, and I'm really glad we did. Because in my mind, and I'll let you take over here in a sec, Josh, but in my mind, this is the worst superhero movie ever made. Like,
it's up there.
There's none I can't think of that are worse than Catwoman. Morbius is better than
Is Steel bad? Have you seen Steel?
Steel is bad. Steel is pretty bad, actually.
But that's like low budget, right? This probably had a good budget. I don't know. It's hard to say anything's worse than that.
Josh is holding up the ancient lamentation cat for all of us.
That looks like Taylor Swift, doesn't it? Cats.
That brings us to the beginning of the movie because, yes, we also watched the movie Bullet Train together and potted on that, and we released it like right away the weekend of us recording this. But I think we're going to hang on to this episode for a few minutes before we post this one. So it's all happening that same Kylo weekend. We're calling it the Kylo Day. Kylo, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Catwoman.
Proper
here. It starts off with all of these old alt history kind of.
First time we thought it was pretty cool. The first time.
Encyclopedia pictures. I think we appreciated some of like the imagery that's bizarre, but it gets really weird.
For the first 5 minutes, I appreciated. Then it just kept going and going.
Can I interject real quick? Because Corey thought we had all seen this, but he's the only one that watched it. And it's funny watching bad movies because Corey was like loving it. And if you looked at Pappy, he could like see steam coming off his body.
Getting so frustrated.
Like he does not enjoy this medium like Corey did. And Josh is just cracking up the entire movie.
I was talking.
And I'm kind of like, I'm a chatty person. So it's just, we all watched it kind of differently.
Yeah.
Pappy's over there like, oh, this is so bad.
My arms are crossed. I was like sitting back in my chair, just be like, what? Waving my arm.
You had to like approach Pappy after the movie. Like, how you doing, buddy?
You okay? You okay?
You want a soda?
You want a break? Yeah. A pop.
All right, I'm done. Sorry.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Kylo, after multiple viewings of Catwoman that you've had for some reason, what are you supposed to glean about the history of women and cats? The ancient history.
Male academia
here. You know, there's been a lot of Catwoman throughout history, Josh. We just couldn't see it until we saw this movie.
It's been there all the time.
The powers of the cats are mystical and beyond the comprehension of men like us. So, you know, I can only explain it so far. But I think the idea is that cats, ancient Egyptian cats, they find special women in need and they grant them cat powers, and they kind of give them a semi-dual personality. You know, obviously the movie Venom borrowed a lot from this movie.
Is the cat Midnight meant to be the same cat from ancient times? Is that like, that's an eternal cat?
That's what they made it seem like, unless it's reincarnated.
The eternal cat, yes.
How did it get over here from Egypt?
On a ship.
Cats can swim. They just don't like
There are no cats in America. That's what.
How do any animals migrate? Like
America, where we don't have to worry about cats anymore. There are no cats in America. But back home in Mother Russia, our family was traveling through the snow to Minsk. Suddenly Papa saw those huge paw prints. When I heard him screaming, I fainted dead away. And I woke up an orphan. But
there are no cats in America, and the streets are paved with cheese. Oh, there are no cats in America.
No cats in America.
Okay.
That's a thing.
I got you.
Fievel goes west.
That's the original Fievel, actually.
Oh. Is it just called Fievel?
No, it's
American Tail.
American Tail.
That's one of my first movie. In
we waste the secret weapon.
Good.
So this ancient cat. Well, just a quick side note. When they reveal that this is an ancient cat about halfway through the movie, its owner immediately like takes it off her lap and like tosses it to the side.
They should add a pot smash effect. Like,
the background.
The first 40 times they show this cat, Josh audibly laughed out loud.
Okay. what is it about the filmography and the cats, guys? Because it doesn't come off well. They're using real cats, they're using fake cats.
Nothing came off well.
The way this movie looks is really all over the place. Like, it looks like a very much a product of its time to start with, right? This movie came out in 2004, and it mixes a lot of like the CGI and green screen with real stuff, and it tries to blend them together.
Bad.
But it's also just like the cinematography of this movie. There's a lot of like quick movements. There's a lot of extreme close-ups, and then occasional Dutch angles to give you this sense of confusion.
Brett shouted out one time when a wide panning shot changed from CGI to like a real physical building. Do you remember that?
I thought somebody else did. But
you could see the switch, or you saw the switch like jumps between.
Yeah, it's like a slight adjustment, you know?
Like everything kind of pops.
Almost every time Catwoman is moving, it's in CGI. It's like really obvious.
And there's like extreme color saturation at times to the point where Halle Berry looks like she has jaundice because she's so yellow.
Yeah.
And sometimes it has like the Matrix green filter.
And there's some blue too. Like at night, it was really blue.
There was a reverse shot where one was straight yellow and one was like teal.
Yeah.
So
having a conversation with each other. Yeah.
And this is not like lighting. This is not like good time. This is like post-production effects changes.
It's not a choice.
That's all color correction. Color incorrect.
When the main guy, when the main guy is looking at himself in the mirror with the scratch on his face, they show it. Then they go to the other side, which would have been fine. Then they go back to the scratch side. Then they go back to the other side again. It's like, why did you need those last two transitions? Like, it's almost like he feels like, well, I need to be doing something. I need to be editing something.
Which character was that?
Merovingian.
The Merovingian guy.
He's like looking at himself and it's going from both sides of his face. It's just really...
There's a lot of editing in this movie. Like, we always talk about like best editing for the Oscars.
Bohemian.
I think this is a movie where like you can see the editing drawing attention to itself and it's laughable.
Yeah.
That was like your first comment, Josh, when we were watching the movie. You're like, this editing.
Because there was like a round table room and this guy's like in the middle of sentence one and they've already cut to like three.
Yeah. Different angles at him.
Yeah. Right. It's like Liam Neeson hopping a fence. Right?
15 cuts, yeah.
So Kylo mentioned earlier that these ancient cats choose someone to bestow their powers on. Who does this cat Midnight choose, and how does that all go down, Brett?
Oh, well, she chooses Patience Phillips.
Not Selena
Kyle, no.
Not featured in this movie.
No. Apparently she's desperate. I mean, she's got a good job. She just has a mean boss. I mean, I don't know how down on your luck you are there. I mean, don't know why she picked Patience, but
the cat hates Hoobastank just as much as me.
Yeah, that's true. That's where it comes from.
The rest of us. Yeah,
good boy.
It starts off with Patience Phillips' narration, Halle Berry.
It all started on the day that I died. If there had been an obituary, it would have described the unremarkable life of an unremarkable woman, survived by no one. But there was no obituary, because the day that I died was also the day I started to live. But that comes later.
Oh, right.
And she's like in like a body of water, like drowning or dead, like a floating corpse, you know? And she's like, this is the day I died. But the day I died is also the day I started to live.
That's probably the best line in the movie. Like this.
That's beautiful.
Josh was laughing at the bad dialogue, and it's so bad. So much bad dialogue in this movie.
And interestingly, she does die and get brought back to life with a mist breath from Midnight.
Dude,
the CGI cat.
Yeah, but someone shouted out like, "Oh, this is like the 9 lives thing," but they never.
No,
that never
go
comes
for that.
up.
No,
no, they do
any other cliche of
every
cat.
other aspect of a cat.
Cats like fish.
Dude,
Cats don't like
she's
water.
freaking eating cans of tuna, and she pulls all the fish off the. It's so gross.
Does Catwoman always have a mystical element to her origin story?
No.
Because I feel like in the new Batman, it's like she's barely a cat. You know what I mean? I feel like it's more like the cat burglar.
Yes, she's a
aspect.
cat burglar. Like,
Same with the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
they
true.
don't. They're people. They're not.
She, she covers her face and she like can kick ass, but she
She's
like
not bad.
steals-
She's not good.
She
just
steals shit.
The equivalent would be if
Robin
like Bruce Wayne got bit by a radioactive bat or something. You know what I mean? That's basically what they're.
It would be like
going
changing
for here.
Batman's story to that.
Right. There doesn't need to be this element of mysticism to her. It's so stupid.
But it's also, Pappy, so cool.
It's so cool.
Because this movie
it's
really
not.
wants to be fucking cool, doesn't it, Josh? Like, the soundtrack is a very clear indication of that. Of like trying to make this seem cool and sexy. Like this techno rock, like fast-paced 2000s drivel.
Benjamin Bratt, sir. He plays Tom Lone, and he is just the essence of cool. He looks a little bit like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, the man sandwich guy you're talking about? Yeah.
He's the police officer. The inciting incident with him and Halle Berry is that he's the officer on the scene when she's trying to rescue Midnight off the ledge.
That was driving Brett crazy. He's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Why would you risk your life for a cat? And no one knows. But
I was just wondering the same thing.
Also, the cat was climbing around like it was fine, but
Yeah, he's getting around just fine up there. Don't worry about him.
Pappy, we like to go character by character sometimes. Talk to us about Tom Lone. Lone?
Tom
Lone.
I just bring him up because like the movie is he's cool. The women love him. The men want to be him or whatever. That's
Some of the men want to be with him.
Yes, they do, very obviously.
He's so handsome that everyone who comes into contact with him, that's like the first thing they notice about him. Like, oh, what a hunk of man this guy is. Which, he looks like Cristiano Ronaldo.
And he wants to be known for his brains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. And his community service with the kids in basketball.
Well, detective work is kind of like dating. It's all about the pursuit. But when you catch them, you like your sushi, huh?
Benjamin Bratt, I'll say this as a quick side note, is a fine actor.
Yeah, he's not the problem.
He's really great in Blood In, Blood Out, especially where he has to like play like two versions of a guy. When he's younger, he's like involved in a gang, and then he kind of joins the military, gets reformed, and actually becomes a cop. This guy plays a cop like in 10 different things. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, Demolition Man, Miss Congeniality.
He's often a cop.
He looks like a cop.
And he's a great actor.
Yeah, he's not the problem with this movie.
Has he ever been portrayed like this Jesus-like though?
No.
With the kids, with the how everyone is just fawning everywhere he goes. Like, it's insane how...
Ooh, he plays basketball in Doctor Strange, so I forgot he's the basketball player in that too.
Oh, so he can ball.
Benjamin Bratt, supercut. Every
Basketball.
movie he shot a hoop in.
His jump shot's gone though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which we never see him shoot a fucking jump shot either. Where it's like I don't know.
He's Benjamin, or he's Detective Lone, and he says he doesn't have a partner. There's something going on with the names in this movie that's really fucking weird as well. He's Mr. Lone, no partner.
Did Han Solo steal that from Lone?
Yeah.
Detective Lone.
Han Lone.
Patience Phillips. I mean, she's she's patient.
She's not really though. Like, I don't know.
And then what's the name?
Ophelia Powers gives her the power.
Ophelia Powers is the person that knows the lore, right? She's the old wise person, like in Jeepers Creepers or like a lot of 2000s horror movies. You got to go see the expert.
I can tell you the thing I hated the most was the name of the beauty line. I hated that name.
What was it? Beauty
line?
It's Bewline.
They say it differently 3 times.
Well, that's what I was going to get into next.
Oh no, it's Bewline, because maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe it's Bewline.
Bewline. I don't know.
I think the main plot to me is kind of like with the detective and this love story, Brett. But the other side is this makeup industry titan gone awry. They're kind of like the evil villains. Tell us about this husband and wife duo that sit atop of Bowline.
Bowline.
That's your southernness coming through. Bow.
Bow.
It's definitely not Bow because it should be pronounced Bow. But Yeah, it's like
Butylene.
The cosmetics company is called Hedare Beauty.
Oh, okay, that's her
and
name.
And the new skin cream is called the
Hedare or whatever the name was. Okay, so he's your typical egomaniacal CEO owner. He's a dick. He hates his wife. He cheats on her. He demeans her. I mean, and she portrays herself as like the beaten down wife, but you find out that she
looked older than 40, I feel like.
You find out that she's the one that's kind of in charge or like willing to kill for more money. And you find out she's just a marble machine at the end.
Their relationship is pretty, they're in step with each other, this husband and wife, right?
I've never seen more in love than them.
How on the nose is this, guys? They're like, we hate each other. I don't know.
Every single element of this movie is like a cliche on the nose. The villains are so ridiculously over the top. They're such mustache twirlers. Like, they would be hanging out with Snyder for sure after work. There'd be like a bowling league of these people getting together talking about their fucking supervillain plans. But Snyder is actually more funny than these guys. These guys are just like cringe, you know?
So there is a scene in this movie where she orders a white Russian hold the vodka,
hold the
Kahlua. So she's just freaking drinking milk. It's so stupid. Hold the cream too, I think. I don't know, whatever it is.
He sets it on the table and he says pure cream, and then she chugs it.
Because she's a cat.
Yeah, because cats are they love milk.
And I believe I said when we were watching, they should have tied in a Clockwork Orange sort of reference, but
the milk bar.
That's way too smart.
What I don't get about this movie is like when she steals the jewelry, or like she has no reason to do that. You know what I mean? Like, why does she get into this moral ambiguity? She's a good person, but the cats make her bad. Like,
she breaks out of her shell, Pappy.
But so she was really a bad person. She's just too scared to do things like this.
Yeah. I mean, she does use the jewelry that she steals to like make her claws. She has like these diamond claws on her fingers. So she like uses that as like a weapon, and it's how she like scratches people and shit in the movie. But like the only setup for her actually taking the jewels was that she like looked at it in a window and liked it.
Yeah. And she just becomes a thief.
When she goes to the actual place as Catwoman, when she has her Catwoman powers, there's real burglars there that are stealing it. So we get to see her showcase her skills at that time as well.
This is what is it? Something Sue.
Mary Sue?
This is a Mary Sue moment.
A boy named Sue.
Yeah. She looks down at him from the rafters and she's like, amateurs. And it's like, this is literally her first time doing like anything illegal as far as we know. Like Patience would never do anything like this. And that line really caught me off guard.
I guess that's what I was trying to get at, is like, it should be like a slippery slope, right? Like she should like have some kind of like money problems, like the classic, like, would you steal from a pharmacy for your kids type thing. Like she has some reason to start being bad, and by the end she's kind of like morally ambiguous, stealing jewels type thing. Like, I don't understand why Patience becomes gray.
Did you miss the part where her neighbors were blasting Hoobastank? Because I think that explains a lot.
That might explain a lot.
These are some serious metalheads that live next door. They play Hoobastank. They play Crawling in the Dark every night. Every night, every day of the week. It doesn't matter how late it is. They're dressed like they're 2000s.
They have a life.
Fans.
Get a life.
Surprised that
they say mean things like
they're
get
not
a life.
playing Crawling in the Dark while she's crawling around.
It would be that.
Oh my god!
I don't think they wanted to pay for that song
for sure.
It's like an upper echelon Hoobastank song.
They had to get like track 7 on that.
Yeah, it's not one of their main singles. I feel like Halle Berry should have taken the time and listened to their lyrics. They're like more thoughtful than your average like Nickelback band. But
dude, the singer looks like the singer of Nickelback. I mean, not the singer of Hoobastank, but the guy at the party is what I meant to say.
It's credited as Rocker is his name.
Rocker,
and he's in. Like I said, he's in your Peacemaker show. He's some captain, somebody. Captain Casper or something.
I feel like a lot of Halle Berry's problems in her life go away in the first half of this movie. Like, she takes care of the Hoobastank punks. She has quit her job.
She gets fired.
What the hell is wrong with you, Phillips? You never delivered the design. You do not, in fact, even know where they are, and you do not know where they are because, and I quote you, you cannot remember. Your incompetence is staggering.
Huh?
Are you even listening to me?
Uh-uh. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Sorry's not nearly enough.
Okay. Then let me try the remix. I'm sorry for every second I wasted working for an untalented, unethical egomaniac like you.
Clean out your cubicle. You are fired.
Wait! Sir, there! I didn't mean it. Did I? My hero.
Yeah, but she also tells off the boss.
But she doesn't, though. She's like, keeps going back on it, and everyone's right there.
That's
and like,
not
no
consistent, though, because later on she's bad at night and like good early and bad at night. This is like
that would make sense.
Bounces back and forth.
Why
She's
does
talking to her boss?
Smeagol Gollum work so well in Twin Towers, but this is like a nothing
direction,
like, it's so
acting,
terrible.
dialogue,
just making it clear that's what's supposed to be happening. Yeah,
because that's
Sound
what's happening,
design.
right? She's kind of snapping back and forth between these personalities. Corey, is that what's happening?
Yeah,
like in live time.
They can't really decide on that. You know, like it seems like when they were making this movie, they kind of wanted to go half in on that. They wanted to maintain some of the original character and also have her be like this new leather-bound badass. But I think they have a hard time like making those two things coexist with each other.
But I just want to like say this out loud because I think it's so fucking stupid. It's like the way she tells off her boss and gets a round of applause is she's like, you're a capitalist, greedy, blah, 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 you know, blah, blah, blah. And like, but then she's like, as the boss is walking away, she begs for her job back. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, and she screams it and everyone like claps for her. Like,
and it comes back out and like, you're all fired. I heard that.
If you saw that, you would think this person is like unstable, unhinged, like, you know what I mean? Like all over the place. If they were like yelling and then begging, like within seconds, you wouldn't be like, way to go. You know, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Nothing makes sense in this movie.
No.
Got real quiet in here.
Halle Berry goes through a transformation here, and it's not just about turning her circumstances upside down. It's also about her looks, ain't it?
Yeah. So there's a very famous moment in this movie where she is like fully transformed into Catwoman, and this was featured in the trailers, and this is like what people got fans, I guess DC fans, in an uproar before this movie was released. And this is the image of her in the famous like scantily clad leather bound outfit, right? She has like the pants that are like kind of exposing her skin, and then she has like the midriff shirt, and then the stupid fucking headpiece. looks bad, looks awful. But a lot of that is like CG, and she's like strutting her stuff to no one, and it's probably just like the cringiest of the cringe when it comes to superhero moments, especially like in that moment in a superhero movie where the hero is revealed as themselves. And I think when they made this movie, I think they were trying to draw inspiration from one of the biggest superhero movies at the time, which was the Spider-Man movie, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. And I think there are some parallels, right? When like they get the power and then they start using the power and like things are happening and they don't fully expect them. And then they have like the big reveal hero shot, except it's just like taking everything and doing it absolutely the wrong way in this movie. Everything is wrong.
The costume like is don't get me wrong, the peak Halle Berry, a woman so beautiful who many a rapper singer has. Like,
even when she's yellow, jaundice, she's still hot. Yeah,
but that costume serves no purpose outside of like sex appeal for the audience. Like, there's no like rationale. I don't even know. Is that the leather outfit that her annoying ass friend gave her? Is that? Did she fashion this herself?
No, because she wore that outfit one time.
Okay,
right? And it was just like a leather jacket and like leather pants.
Did she cut that up to make this? Like, how does she get this
off screen? I guess.
So stupid.
I mean, she cuts her own hair in like the stupidest sequence ever, when she's like looking in the mirror and you just see like the top of her hair kind of hanging down, a pair of scissors in each hands, and just like chop, 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 kind of like ruffles her hair, and then boom, she's like perfection, like $100 hairstylist haircut right there.
Huge problem with this movie. Where they're more concerned with like how her hair transforms versus how the superhero gets a costume and an origin story. Like every single superhero origin story, you at least find out something about.
But they do have a 60-second shot that pans up her legs, over her butt, around to the side to her belly.
It's probably all CGI.
Goes up, like, sorry, but her boobs are like way out, very prominent, and it just
hallelujah,
slowly, slow motion, bouncing around, then gets up to her face finally at about the 55-second mark.
Yeah,
of that shot.
Those kitty milkers are in your face.
I wish they could see us right now, but Josh, can you like explain why you loved the cat looks when she transforms and how long it went on? Could someone make a meme of that? Where all the different directions she's looking when she gets her cat eyes.
Between her and Tom Lone, there's so many like looking intensifies.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Like they're always looking. And I think it's a weakness in a movie to like show someone look at something. Like how often is that something that really like compels you? I don't know.
Maybe one time, but they did it so many times.
I was able to like start laughing about this, speak about it, point it out, and they were still doing it. You guys would see like the next cut of the look. And it's pretty ridiculous.
Josh's commentary, looking intensified.
They wanted to show the transformation for the cat, and she just kept seeing new things, and then the birds came, and she got spider vision.
She also cocks her head constantly.
That's right. Yeah, that's one of the things I was talking about.
Constantly turning her head sideways, which isn't like a cat thing. It's like a dog thing.
Confused dogs.
Yeah.
Did she watch the dailies? Was it anyone helping her out with this? That's tough.
Guys, look at the name of the director and then ask that question again.
It's what was it? Sven?
Worse than that.
No, his name is Pitof. It's Pitof.
There you go.
He worked on a few things that I don't know what they are. So it's safe to say.
I think. He did some French stuff, which is probably where he got hooked up with the Merovingian guy.
She does look like a cat walking from the back. Like, I feel like she swings her butt extra as if there were a tail back there.
Yeah.
Are you guys picking that up?
For sure. But like the fact that she has to do everything a cat does, like literally fucking everything, is insane.
Well, everyone knows that one thing you know about cats is they do not like the rain.
And they love to hoop.
Yeah. Cat ball, bro.
She literally freaks out and runs because it rains. She goes, I don't like the rain.
She rubs the catnip all over her face.
Oh, that was the worst.
Oh.
Then she just kept, what was she going to go back to get more catnip, or was she going to go talk to that lady? What was she struggling with?
I'm fine. I am fine.
Addiction to catnip.
Was that really what it was?
That's kind of what I pulled out of it.
I have no idea.
Slash like that woman. What, or just like, yes, I am a cat. No, I'm not a cat. I am a cat. I don't know.
Just glad she didn't walk on like a catwalk or something. That would have been like.
But she basically was.
True.
Every time she was like.
You're right.
Oh my God, that's the catwalk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably why they call it a
genius.
God.
She's too sexy for her hat or something. So the details honestly get a little bit fuzzy. Like there's a lot of action. We haven't talked specifically about some of the Tom Lone super corn scenes. There's the scene with the Ferris wheel. and Catwoman has to save the day secretly. But then the classic and like a big part of the reason I'm inspired by this movie is the basketball scene. She starts off the one-on-one session by parkouring off the brick wall.
While the kids are like,
oh, snap.
What are some parts of this? What are you guys' favorite parts about the basketball scene?
Oh boy. The basketball scene is like one of those notoriously bad superhero movie moments. There's a similar scene with Daredevil and Elektra in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie where they have like a dance fight with each other.
It's bad on the playground.
Yes. This is similarly on a playground of sorts, right? They're in a basketball court. There's a bunch of little kids around that are observing because in his free time, Benjamin Bratt as a cop, like I guess gives advice to youth at the YMCA.
And how she knows where he is at that moment to come find him.
She did call. She said she called.
Oh, she called. Okay.
Whatever.
Thanks, movie.
It's just like dry humping on a court, isn't it, Josh?
Yeah.
She mounts him at the end.
Plus the kids want to play and they end up not letting the kids play.
She jumps over him and dunks and flips down into like a mount. It's
Technically,
totally
I think
like
she just lay
an
out.
awesome sex move for an Indiana dude. If you're, that's a true lady.
I tried it once. I hurt myself, but I'll get back there again.
Can we have our ball back?
You don't seem so fun and efficient to me.
Pappy, this is your first time seeing this movie.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Take us through what action happens at the end. Like, how does the whole company fall apart? What do you remember from like the actual events leading up to like the climax of this movie?
I remember Cirque du Soleil happened at one point.
Yeah.
Do you want me to like sort of talk through the like power or the politics of the company? Is that what you're trying to get at? Like, or
I don't know if we need all the politics.
I don't like action that leads up to this. I can't even think of like what are the best action scenes of this movie.
I know why too. It's because the action scenes are so chaotic and like the not even action scenes, but just like her riding a motorcycle is so chaotic. There's so much like flashing. The camera moves in an unrealistic fashion because a lot of it's like digital. So like it wraps around people so quickly in a way that someone that's holding a camera couldn't possibly do even on a crane or anything. It's just pure fucking chaos. There's so many quick cuts. Like nothing in this like looks good. You can't watch this movie as an action movie and say, damn, that scene kicked ass. Even though she does like a big girl power pose at the end, it's fucking meaningless because like unlike Bullet Train, the action is incomprehensible.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like the only time the action did anything for me is at the end when it got so ridiculous. Like what did you call it when that she fell off the building? You called
overtime.
But what you said it was a
guess what? It's overtime.
It's overtime.
It's like there's nothing to glean from unless you're like laughing
Ugly
at
shot.
it. I don't remember any of like the action.
One thing.
It's overtime.
I don't know what you're asking. He said something about the.
Was there anything like I don't remember? Like, was there any action scene that stood out? Like, I guess the Ferris wheel, the basketball. There's no like.
I thought it was funny. You've been to like a Cirque du Soleil when the cops bust in and someone gets on stage and they keep going.
Right. They just keep
I mean, like nothing happened.
The show must go on, my friend.
That's very Abraham Lincoln assassination style, right? Like jumping down off the parapet and.
Yeah,
I guess there's an action scene. What's the dude's name?
Parapet.
Detective Lone.
Detective Lone. Like she kind of fights him there a little bit, and she
fights the other guy too, the security guard, if you want to call it a fight.
She kisses and licks him. Like
that's how she traces him.
Yeah,
they're really trying to draw from Batman Returns with like Batman fighting Catwoman, and then like they end up on top of each other, and there's a lot of good sexual tension, and then Catwoman like licks his face. Like comparing that,
I think that went too far.
In Batman Returns?
No, in this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That with Alex Borstein's character Sally just constantly being like a lust monster.
Yeah,
it's like, dude, women
pre-Me Too
think of other things. Like, what the hell? Every time they like,
She's like the best friend in a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
You know, like the unattractive best
The sassy
friend.
one, yeah, who or lives vicariously, but they didn't make her that way. They made her like she's the powerful. I don't know, but yeah, I guess she motivates the less socially. I don't know. I see what you're saying.
I think if a guy licks a woman reversal, it's kind of like a no going back from this moment in a movie.
Bad guy. It's a bad guy move.
Yeah, it's
Like,
totally.
yeah.
That's not good, dude.
Yeah, that's like in T2 when Sarah Connor's locked up. You remember?
Oh yeah.
She's like strapped to the bed, and like the orderly guy that straps her, like he leans in and he like licks
But
her face.
that also
and she, like,
implies
fucking
that
kills
he's
that
been
guy.
doing that stuff for a long time.
Yeah, and
there's a little worse than that.
There's more deleted scenes with like that imply that as well.
Can you
Halle Berry,
imagine-
you can lick my face if you want. It's okay.
Wait, can you imagine like a gender reveal and trying to like sell a protagonist man? Like, and there's a lady cop chasing him and he licks her fucking face. And that's supposed to be like, like cool.
Oh,
like,
God.
It's assault, brother.
Yeah, that was tough. But I think we can get to final thoughts in just a second. The last thing that kind of happens in the movie is that Catwoman, with her powers, has to fight Sharon Stone, who has her makeup powers.
Yeah, oh yeah, well.
So basically, Sharon Stone's character...
Women stuff.
Marvel Man.
She's trying to get the whole universe addicted to this makeup, because once you're using it, it works really well, and it turns you into like a marble person that can beat other people up.
And it's addictive, but it also causes headaches and fainting. And if you don't take it, you turn into like an orc.
Yeah,
She's trying to start an MCU, a Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Nice.
It's an MBU.
Wait. A great delivery.
No, it is an MCU. Yeah.
That's a good one, Brett.
Thanks.
So she beats up the marble woman. Sharon Stone's face is kind of starting to turn to the orc-like zombie face a little bit. So there's maybe a decent part in the movie where it's like she could have kept fighting, but saw she was ugly,
Yeah.
so let go.
But then she still says, "Help me," doesn't she? Kind of like what you were saying, like
she does.
They
fall.
can't decide what, but she like Josh is right. She hates herself, but then she's like, "Help me." It's kind of like she tells her boss off, but then she's like, "No, give my job back."
There's two ways to do that scene. She's either too vain to save herself now that she's
like
ugly,
7.
so she kills herself, or
just as good as 7.
Or she slips and it's like Halle Berry didn't actually kill her. You know what I mean? But she dies, and now there's like, I don't know, like
not a killer.
Catwoman's, I guess, on the hook for these deaths still. I guess we'll have to wait till Catwoman 2.
Give me your hand! Help me!
When Sharon Stone's character falls, we all started laughing as she was falling down.
That's how I was. She flipped in the air.
She starts swirling around. Then all of a sudden, like
that was entertaining though.
That's someone who's not trying to make a good movie anymore. They're trying to salvage like entertainment value.
There's like 3 different types of mixed media in that one fall, and like 4 cuts of the camera.
Should she have like crumpled when she hit the ground if she was marble, or
that would have
just
been
on the
cool.
outside?
If she shattered.
Also, it's a pretty funny reveal of how she's marble. She goads her husband into slapping her. And he just hits her and his like arm breaks because her face is solid.
Me and Brad are just fucking spitting Merovingian quotes
Yeah.
at each other the whole movie.
If you want, Matrix 2 and 3. We're the only people in the world who quote that.
Lipstick. I'm not wearing any lipstick.
Causality.
Causality. Yeah.
Any final thoughts? Speaking of causality and all.
Yeah, talking about causality. So this movie came from Batman Returns, the 1992 movie. We got this movie 12 years after it. So after Batman Returns, at the very end, it's revealed that Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer's character, is still alive. And then there was plans for a Catwoman movie starring Michelle Pfeiffer.
Huh.
And that would have been fucking epic. Assuming, they kept the same tone as Batman Returns and preferably the same director. That movie didn't end up getting made, but there was still a script and there were still plans. And the script got revised and passed around and no one wanted to do it. And eventually, like all great movies, it got deformed to the point where it became this. So it did end up getting picked up, but this movie is in no way connected to Batman Returns. The character's name isn't even Selena Kyle. It was just, we need to get this done. Superhero movies are coming out. And this was really a bad time for superhero movies. The 2000s, a lot of dog shit came out around this time.
Mm-hmm. Is it possible, you think, to do a good Catwoman movie? Because this fucking killed Catwoman for nearly 15 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's been...
Is she just like one of those Hulk characters where it's really hard to make one movie around him?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Hulk has rights issues, so that's why they can't make one movie around him. But I think any character could work with the right script,
Yeah, I think there's so much potential there with this character.
Absolutely.
I was flabbergasted, though, at the end, seeing Sharon Stone opposite Halle Berry as the marble makeup woman versus Catwoman.
Terrible villain.
What you see on screen is just awful in every way. Their performances aren't great here. The camera work, the lighting.
I would normally read this.
How could they not see this while it was getting made? Do you guys feel like any new actor that's going to jump onto DC or Marvel, are they thinking about, what if I end up in a situation like this and I'm like locked in contractually? Like, that has to be a nightmare.
Potentially. I mean, Halle Berry won an Oscar before this, so
I'm sure Jared Leto's probably like, he obviously wants to make a comic book movie, but they keep getting screwed by studio, right?
It's hard to say if it's like the studio
Suicide Squad
necessarily
was
in that
maybe not
case.
more
Yeah. The Suicide Squad, which he was more prevalent as the Joker. Brett handed me his phone. He wanted me to read this thing. I think it's from the Catwoman Wikipedia, right, Brett? Yeah. One of the things on here is that this is regarding the reception of the film. The film was panned by critics, and many considered it to be one of the worst films of all time, with criticism directed at the performances, direction, CGI, editing, costume design, pacing, plot, dialogue, and unfaithfulness to the source material, which includes a lack of connection to Batman. I would also include lighting in there, but I think that's every element.
That was spoilers.
I don't think you need Batman in a Catwoman movie, though. I think you could make a standalone Catwoman origin story without Batman. It wouldn't
anti-hero, because she's like an anti-hero. She's not a villain, but those are always
just like
good.
in this movie, bro.
That's what I'm saying. It's like she needs to move to the middle for a fucking reason. You know what I mean? Like, that's like what a character should do. Like, you can't just go from like goody two shoes to a cat hawked in my face, and now I'm like more like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, you're 100% right.
Why does she change? Why does she grow? Like,
why does she leave at the end?
Right? Yeah. Like, so bad.
Is she gonna stay in town and fight crime? What's she gonna do? Is she gonna go to Egypt?
Mm-hmm.
It could be a comedy.
Honestly,
the cats are hilarious on screen.
Mm-hmm. This movie could be a comedy.
It is a comedy. I think
Catwoman as a comedy is something that could work.
Add a laugh track every time there's a cat.
Isn't this it? Isn't this that?
This is an
unintentional comedy. What's your Corey's favorite
This is not
comedy?
a smart, well-written movie. If you were going to do a smart, well-written movie, it might work best as a comedy. That's all I'm saying. But let's get into a quick yes or no's. Brett has to leave really soon. Go for it.
No, this movie, I'm interested to see if Pappy thinks it's so bad it's good, but I'm guessing I know the answer
No
to
one
that.
said that yet. No one said that term all day.
This movie is god awful. It's bad for everything we mentioned. We could probably talk about this for a lot longer, but it's so bad. Terrible villain. Pappy said there's like nothing. There's no journey from the hero. It's just, that's terrible. If you want to see Halle Berry eat a bunch of tuna cans, this is for you.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the hardest no's of all time.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we did. It was fun. Is he going last? Because he's...
No, let's hit up Corey.
All right. Yeah, this is Corey Kylo Ren memes. I'm glad we watched this movie together and you guys got to experience the joy that is Catwoman. I saw this movie when it came out because, I was very hyped for superhero movies when that started to blow up after X-Men in 2000. I really like Spider-Man, I liked some of the Tim Burton Batman movies from before this, and I mean, I like both of them. This movie, however, is a pile of shit, but it's always attracted me because it's like such like a funny watch, and it's so many bad choices. And the fact that like this made the cut, this is what we got. Like people said yes to things in this movie. Like, you know, some producer watched this and said yes, right? They had to, right?
Yeah.
People checked the boxes off this fucking movie, which is insane. And like, I really want to know like what actually was going on behind the scenes. Did they say this is dog shit, but just release it? Or did they say, yeah, I guess this works? Or, you know, you did the changes we wanted, or you didn't do the changes we wanted? Because obviously this movie is a fucking abomination. It is the worst superhero movie. It's bad. I mean, Superman 4 is pretty bad, but
Hulk 2003?
This is worse than that. Ang Lee's Hulk?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is worse than Ang Lee's Hulk.
Ben.
I don't think this movie has much going for it. I mean, you can laugh at it. I guess that's something, right? It's overtime, Pappy.
Yeah. Yeah, you said something earlier when you were reading that what Brett had sent you, that some people consider this the worst movie of all time. I wasn't really there, but then I just Googled Catwoman budget, and it's $100 million. And
something.
This might literally be the worst movie of all time, actually. Like, and especially in terms of like wasted, from a studio perspective, like wasted income potential. You know what I mean? Like, you fucking destroyed a character. And I would even say too, for all the people who are like crying foul over pulling Batgirl, do you want Batgirl to end up like Catwoman, where it's just like a fucking dead property? At least if they don't put out whatever this is, and I can't even imagine that Batgirl is that much worse than this Catwoman movie that we just watched.
There's no way it's this bad.
Or would be, you know, given like if they actually like put in an effort to salvage whatever that was. But like, I mean, this like must have destroyed like literally the IP value of this character, this one movie, let alone however much it lost like in the box office. I mean, literally nothing to glean onto other than the unintentional comedy. Like, it's not so bad it's good because it still feels somewhat grounded in its own universe, right? Like, I'm never watching this movie being like, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen next. It still kind of like plays by these dumb rules that it gives itself, which I don't know. I was never like entertained by any aspect of this movie other than laughing at the basketball a couple times and when Marble Woman fell off the tower.
Miss
Marble. Hard no. One of the worst movies we've done for spoilers, I think, honestly.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I gave it a no. Yeah.
PK should be here.
PK would defend the shit out of this.
I could call him real quick.
I gotta give this a regrettable no, I guess. Like, there are some moments that are so bad they're good.
A couple.
The basketball, obviously. I think watching Friends and seeing all of the ancient history of cat aliens, like, that was just fun. I give this movie and you guys a yes for hanging out today. That was so fun. Before we go, though, I do have a quick trivia.
Let's go. Josh, who hates trivia.
Okay.
Bringing it in.
Okay. So what order did we go in last time? Maybe we can switch it up.
Cool.
We went from furthest away from Goshen, Indiana to closest. So we'll go the opposite. And this will work out better. So the top of the pod, I said that we're going to go Shaquille on your butt.
Ooh.
Shaquille went Shaquille on a lot of people's butts over his career. He's in the top 50 point scorers of all time in the NBA, but what number is he?
Oh,
so I think Pappy, you're up first.
I'm gonna say 12.
So
no, I said 11. I want 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you're saying that Shaquille O'Neal is the 11th highest point scorer
There
of
are
all time.
10 basketball players in the history of NBA who have scored more points than
I'm only saying that so that people understand the question completely. I feel like I kind of jacked that up. So, Brett.
I'm gonna go with number 9. Number 9.
Number 9.
He's a Laker.
Yep.
Corey.
He's like freaking sports.
Number 8.
I was going people in my head.
Genie.
Shaquille O'Neal played 1,207 games in his career. and he scored over 2,800 points. 28,000 points.
Oh, that's got to be high. That's really high.
28,596. Number 1, Kareem. 2, LeBron. 3, Karl Malone. 4, Kobe. 5, Michael Jordan. 6, Dirk. 7, Wilt. 8, Shaq.
Oh, is that right on the money? Holy shit.
On the money. This is
was
your
going
movie
through my head.
anyway, Kylo.
Who was 9? Who was 9?
Carmelo.
He's the worst one on that list.
Is he still rising?
Mello?
Carmelo rising.
Superstar Carmelo Anthony?
It is my pleasure to hand this off to you, Kylo. Maybe give a couple plugs.
I'm so glad to be here with you guys. I'm sad that this is going to be ending at some point. Brett's going to be leaving, but we're going to do something else after Brett's gone, I think. A little mini orgy.
Oh, what?
What the hell?
A 3-way dance, as you call it. Check out my podcast, Big Dumb Movie. Spoiler Man's going to shout it out probably. He does on some episodes, but others he doesn't.
I don't know where that clip is.
Yeah, I don't know either. I could add it to the thing if I knew where it was.
Are you Spoiler Man?
First of all, we got to fly him out. Then we give him free publicity. Jeez, what else do you want, dude?
We're talking about Catwoman. I just want to say that my favorite Catwoman performance is Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love that movie. And I think everyone that listens to this should be encouraged to check out the Big Dumb Movie podcast on Batman Returns.
Great episode. Yeah.
That was a good one. That's about it. Take it away, Spoiler Man.
Special thank you to our patrons.
PK! What are you, a hero? A thief?
Nick.
You like your sushi, huh?
The Meg.
The unremarkable life of an unremarkable woman.
David.
Scream, straight up.
Matt Troll.
Your incompetence is staggering.
Nurse Stacy.
Oh, yeah. Ha. Black leather. Whip.
The Wolf.
Sorry. Sorry's not nearly enough.
Barky 420.
I'm Patience Phillips.
That's who's under there?
Total Movie Recall.
Violin.
You stop using it, and your face disintegrates.
Davey Kerr.
No, I've had partners before, but turns out I take my job a little too seriously.
Spencer.
I'm sorry for every second I wasted working for an untalented, unethical egomaniac like you.
Brother Brian.
Guess what? It's overtime.
Druid King.
My hero.
If you'd like to request an episode, hear your name read by Spoiler Man, or even just help us make podcasts, please check us out on patreon.com/spoilerspodcast.
What can I do for you?
White Russian. No ice. Hold the vodka. Hold the Kahlua.
That was Spoilers.